snowing here in New York City.
A snowing morning.
But it doesn't matter because everyone has off except for us today.
Oh, yeah. What is it, President's Day?
Yeah, the streets are dead. In honor of President's Day, we got President Bush talking about marijuana. One of the big stories today.
Smoked some pot. We all knew that, though. Guy was a total partier in college.
Somebody taped one of his phone calls before he was president, I guess.
What a great guy. What a great pal to have. Tapes your conversations and then tells everybody what you said.
Releases it to the media and says something like, "Well, I had to release this because it's part of history because he's a president." Yeah. Now this guy wanted a little attention, huh?
Of course.
Before we get to that, because they're going to bring that audio in a few minutes, we played another Ramone promo going into break.
Ramone.
The whole Steve Ramone thing, which is a little creepy.
Yeah.
You want to explain it really fast because Steve's not here.
He just made these.
He's here, but he's somewhere else.
These promos for the show featuring this rich, eccentric voiceover guy and his houseboy Ramone. I don't know where he thinks this stuff up, but he did, and it's turning into a little series.
Yeah, well,
he made a few of these, and Ramone is the manservant of this voiceover guy. And
in the latest episode, Ramone has to open up his mouth because this voice guy has to
flick his cigar
ash somewhere. So he decides he needs to flick it in Ramone's mouth.
Yeah.
This is from Steve, who works for us, Martini Steve. There's something going on in his head. So anyway, there's 3 or 4 of those promos that he's made. Now the listeners have started making Ramone promos.
Yeah.
So we got Cigars and Scotch. This is the Stephen Ramone sweeper by Cigars and Scotch.
Right.
Nothing beats sitting back and enjoying a few martinis. Ramone, get me a new liver.
Great production values.
Yeah. It's average at best, but I think this is going to start something with the listeners. I think they're
like that.
I think they're going to start sending in their Ramone promos.
Just as Steve has this whole, homoerotic degradation. Like, the first thing, he diuretically evacuates into his shoes, and Ramone has to clean it. And now he needs Ramone's mouth as an ashtray. He's a weird type of, a master, like a dominatrix almost.
Yeah, because, again, there was a problem, and Ramone had to use his sleeve to clean up the crap.
Yes.
Yeah. There's always something going on, but I like this. The guy's implying that Martini Steve is hammered.
Yeah, well,
drinking a little too many martinis, screwing up his liver.
We look forward to more sweepers from the listeners.
Great job.
The Ramone saga continues.
That'll annoy Steve quick.
Oh, of course it will.
I don't know why they have to send these in. Perfect diction. I know I'm cozy. Mark Ramone. That'll somehow make Ramone a guy who did coke with Bledsoe when he was in Boston. Porcelain Apple. Come on, enough.
I also got an email from these guys over the weekend. They were very excited because they thought they were the only ones that got Paris Hilton's
oh, I know.
friend's cell phone.
Everyone got that.
Yeah, that story is in all the major papers, but I think it was Eric Starr, all excited that he had Paris Hilton's cell phone.
Would have been nice if the story broke when we were on the air, Then we could have called some of these things and maybe gotten them on the phone, but by the time you get to 2 days later, all these guys have turned off their phones, had them changed. They're all pissed off. But, I had Lindsay Lohan and who else?
Eminem.
Eminem.
I left him a message, actually. I think he's going to call me back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm not like these other fans, man. I just want to tell you what you mean to me.
So sort through the 8,000 other messages you have. Ashley Simpson.
Avril Lavigne.
Which Olsen twin?
I don't even know.
Matt
Ashley
Sorum
Olsen.
worked. We called Matt Sorum this morning. That one worked.
Did you? Who's Matt Sorum?
Vin Diesel.
Who's Matt Sorum?
Who is he?
Yeah, who is he again?
Drummer.
Oh, drummer from Guns N'
Velvet
Roses.
Revolver, yeah.
And Velvet
okay.
Revolver, right. Well, he's hoping he's getting phone calls.
Well, see, he's one of the ones, though, and then there's all these, nightclub people from New York and all these, socialites. Nobody knows who they are, but theirs all still worked.
Yeah.
I called all those.
Christina Aguilera.
Her doctor.
So how did this get out?
I don't know. Eric would know.
Eric, how did the Paris Hilton thing get out?
I woke up yesterday morning and somebody said,
somebody hacked into her that sidekick that she does the commercials for. With
They didn't actually hack into the sidekick. They hack into what you do is you hot link with your computer, and you could put in numbers and everything over your computer. But what you're doing is you're uploading everything from your sidekick onto a private website on T-Mobile's server.
Okay.
So all that information goes onto a server. So then, let's say you get your sidekick wiped out. It doesn't work anymore. You can just plug it into the computer, and you don't have to re-enter everything. All your info's there.
Oh, okay. Can I be really stupid?
Thing.
What's a sidekick?
It's like a BlackBerry or something like that. It's those things you see you've seen the commercials before, where she's punching in and Snoop Dogg is asking how much conditioner I should do, or
fabric
softener
I
should use.
Right.
Well, it's either that or it's a black woman who laughs at everything you say.
Someone hacked into my sidekick. Very funny, Jimmy. So yeah, they hacked into that website, which has all that information on it, and got some pictures of her, a couple of naked pictures.
Her kissing some girl in a bathroom in a hotel.
Her naked kissing some chick in a hotel bathroom. That was kind of hot.
Picture
and then
with her with Burt Reynolds was pretty funny too.
Yeah. Picture her with Burt Reynolds. Just dopey stuff. You know.
Do we have those pictures up on FoundryMusic.com yet?
Steve has them. See if we put them up.
We definitely should.
Eric was so conspiratorial in his email too. He's like, he gave me the links. And he's like, not like capital N-O-T, not for like not published.
Yeah,
like these were a secret.
Yeah, like we were gonna put it up on websites and like it would matter. Like there's 8 billion sites with these things on it now.
2 people have it, Eric and Drudge.
That's why I was laughing. I'm like, if Eric has it, that means it's all over the world at this point.
It's on Drudge.
Yeah, I mean we have no real good inside, No.
It was like I said, if the story broke when we were on the air, we probably would have gotten through to a couple of these people, but. A couple of hours goes by, everyone... Yeah, you know how many phone calls these people probably got? The Christina Aguilera number, Who isn't calling that one? And then now what do you get if you call...
Most of them have... we called early Sunday morning, and most of them were already disconnected. But we got through to Lindsay Lohan's voicemail.
Yeah.
And somebody hacked her voicemail and said, Lindsay Lohan is now owned, and then he's just laughing, and then the thing ends. We got through to Vin Diesel. You hear his voice. But then when it goes to the mailbox, it just says the mailbox full with like 6,000 something messages in it.
What could you possibly leave him a message? He's probably got 5,000 messages going, Jeep, you stink. Boop, you're awful. Boop, you suck.
Yeah. But how do they hack? So it's up at this website.
Yeah, and like any other website, you can get into it.
And then someone's just fooling around and then figured it out?
Yep.
All right.
Hacked it, but now the FBI's involved, and apparently they got a line on who this is, and
the SEC's involved, and
why would the Securities and Exchange Commission be involved in that? I think they're busy with something else.
Yeah, with that liar.
I got to say though, when it comes to stuff like that, and this is how dumb I am, when you guys came back from, I knew you guys were going to D.C. to talk to XM, and I knew it looked really good, and like a jackass, I didn't go out and get stock. I own no stock in anything.
No.
Why didn't I? How stupid am I?
Well, they might have nailed you on insider trading. Like the stock really went up when we.
But you know what I'm saying? You should be allowed to do that.
Someone should look at XM stock. It went up nice when we signed.
It was a bump
because there was a bunch of things going on at the same time, and it looked like we were heroes back then.
The problem isn't so much buying the stock with some insider info. Probably won't get you in trouble if you bought it and held it. You just hold on to it. It's these people that have the inside info, they buy it, and then right after it shoots up, they off it. They sell it, pocket a bunch of cash, and then the SEC looks into that. It's like, wait a minute. Who do you know? How did this guy know to buy this many shares and sell it right after it went up? So, Chauncey Hayden, douchebag extraordinaire, and I love how they say, self-proclaimed celebrity journalist.
Right.
Self-proclaimed. The guy writes for a rag magazine.
And he's a fraud. We did 2 interviews with the guy, and he redid our answers and redid questions at times.
Gets stuff wrong. Badmouths Howard to us while he's sitting with us doing an interview. Runs back to his butt buddy Howard and badmouths us to him. He's just a snake. He's not the least bit sincere. He probably doesn't have a single friend in the world because he's such a phony load of shit. And the SEC now is investigating him because they want to know if he had any inside information on Howard going to Sirius and maybe acted on it. Maybe told some of his buddies.
Like maybe heard something in the
they
office.
Made money. Yeah. Well, he says he went to Sirius and asked whoever was interviewing him for a job. He went there for a job. Said whoever was interviewing him for a job, he asked him, is Opie and Anthony coming to Sirius? And whoever was interviewing him said, no, we're holding out for Howard.
This is what Chauncey said.
This is what Chauncey said.
Once again, lying. This guy, all he does is lie. He's a fraud.
Yeah. So he took, he had that information, he says, with him. And what he did with it is what the SEC is going to look into.
And the reality with us, Sirius made us an interesting offer. I'm not going to say a great offer. And we could have easily went there. They weren't waiting for Howard at this point. We could have went there. And what happened was XM came along and just literally just blew us out of the water with their offer.
Yep.
And then Sirius was trying to play catch-up. And they never got to the level that XM was willing to go for us.
No.
That's what happened. They weren't waiting for Howard. But once again, this Chauncey Hayden's going to, lie and adjust the information so it makes him look good.
Yeah. So we have to see, and I would assume they're going to question a couple other people. And usually the SEC doesn't jump in if it's just what the information is that we've read in the paper. There's got to be something else. Somebody that perhaps Chauncey knows bought some stock very low. Offed it right after Howard announced he was going to sign, and the stock went up. So, there's something going on there. Chauncey insists he didn't buy any stock. He doesn't own any stock except in some 401k plan. But that doesn't matter. If you then get info and tell your buddy and he buys the stock, it's still, you're still guilty of insider trading.
Well, I heard they have a recording, actually, of Chauncey yelling at somebody and grabbing him and saying, I taught you the value of insider information and how to get it. And then punching him in Central Park. It's probably
wow. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, so this is going to, I guess the newspapers had the headline, Stock Shock. Stock Shock Shock. It's some ridiculous headline like that.
But it's just amazing that Chauncey Hayden continues to lie and people aren't onto him yet.
Self-proclaimed celebrity journalist. Like, they're not even considering him a celebrity journalist. It's like, well, he calls himself this. He's been in, this whatever it is business for years and years and years and has advanced not one footstep. He has been this free publication rag writer for years and hasn't even been able to use it, his relationship with Stern or anybody else, to advance his career to maybe getting a paid gig at People or something.
We got to read our old interview that he did with us. Because he would ask stuff like, so what do you guys think of other radio guys out there? And we would just have a blanket statement, and then he changes the question to, so what do you think of Howard?
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't have the balls to actually ask us to our face. He was like, yeah, what do you think of other radio guys in Afternoon Drive that you're competing against? It was such a just, whatever. And then the thing comes out, and we're like, we didn't ask us about Howard Stern,
Yeah.
There were so many things that were just not accurate and right in these interviews that he did with us. It was just amazing.
He's a lying douchebag. He's got his little relationship with Howie, and it's done him nothing over the years. It's done him nothing. It's gotten him nowhere. He's a loser. And I just hope they could dredge up something, because the thought of him going to jail is really funny. That would be good. Maybe he could run the prison newspaper. It'll be a step up from the rags he writes for now.
All right. Well, that's a developing story here in New York.
Yes, we'll keep our eye on that one.
Oh, yeah, we will. All right, we got the audio of President Bush, Anthony. So what's the deal with this story? Who was this guy that taped the phone conversation?
Some friend of his.
Just a friend?
Just a friend.
Let's see. A friend of the Bush family who secretly recorded 9 hours of conversations with George W. Bush says he never intended for the tapes to become public, but felt he had a duty to accurately represent a man who he believed would one day become president.
So?
It was just a friend? That's not a friend.
Scumbag.
And there's nothing huge in this. We knew he smoked pot.
And the reason he was taping for 9 hours, he was waiting for that one nugget.
The bombshell,
That one little thing that he could use.
Yep.
Because here it is. Doug Weed, the author of the new book.
Doug Weed?
Doug Weed.
Oh.
Doug Weed, the author of the new book, The Raising of a President, surreptitiously recorded his conversations with Bush beginning in 1998 when Bush was governor of Texas and considering a run for president. Mm-hmm. So he taped him for 9 hours, and he did it because, he gets a nice little book deal out of the thing.
Yeah.
Well, do they make Bush look bad or good? I mean, do they make Bush look like an ass? Or because the one quote I read didn't make him look bad at all.
No, nothing I read either makes him look bad. It's nothing newsworthy. It's no, they're not breaking any ground here. We knew the guy was a partier in college, did some blow, smoked some pot, never fessed up to it in public, but everyone just knew.
On the tapes, Bush discussed strategies for stonewalling questions about past marijuana use. And this is Bush, I guess, in the tape. Do you want your little kid to say, "Hey, Daddy, President Bush tried marijuana. I think I will," said Bush on the tapes. That's the message we've been sending out. I wouldn't answer the marijuana question.
It's kind of a lame reason for not fessing up to it.
Yeah. Right. And this is Bush also addressed how he would deal with questions about cocaine use.
Oh.
The cocaine thing, let me tell you my strategy on that, Bush said on the tape. Rather than saying no, I think it's time for someone to draw the line and look people in the eye and say, I'm not going to participate in ugly rumors about me and blame my opponent and hold the line. Stand up for a system that will not allow this kind of crap to go on.
Wow, he really didn't fess up to anything there.
No.
Good one.
So this is all the guys got on Bush after 9 hours of taping him as a friend, Anthony.
Yeah, pal.
I wouldn't answer the marijuana question. You know why? Because I don't want some little kid doing what I tried.
Yeah, and it never stops.
But you got to understand, I want to be president. I want to lead. I want to set. If you want your little kid to say, "Hey, Daddy, President Bush tried marijuana. I think I will."
Why not?
Incidentally, that was Frank Caliendo.
Great Bush impression.
Yeah, where is Frank today? We should get Frank Caliendo on the phone.
That doesn't make Bush sound that bad, though. I mean, if that's the best you get as a guy going, like, this is probably how I'd move around this question,
Yeah, it really isn't a bad quote.
Well, he's a politician, of course. This is their job to spin these things.
And this is, probably him caught at his most honest, because he never knew he was being taped.
What's the big deal if the President of the United States tried marijuana? At this point, the reality is just about everyone out there of his age, his age, has tried pot.
You got to think of the Midwest people that are like, God damn, it's just as bad as doing that LSD.
You don't think they have tried pot, though?
Yeah, they don't want their president smoking pot. And some of them, no. I don't think...
Well, there's a difference between smoking pot in the White House and trying marijuana when you were younger.
Yeah. And it just makes you look like a hypocrite because, you're Republican and anti-drug and all that. And you were doing it.
But most people have tried marijuana in their lifetime.
Yeah, but it just makes you look like a hypocrite because the Republicans are, the party of zero tolerance, really, with drugs and shouldn't do it, shouldn't be legal. And then he's saying, I tried it, but if you're caught trying it now, I believe you should go to jail and, all that happy horse shit that they like to pile on casual users.
And they crucified Clinton for it.
Yeah, right. Didn't inhale. Oh, smoking pot. Look, he's a junkie.
Crucified him. Dude, this is my take on politics, man. They all just lie.
Wow.
Pretty good, right?
That's pretty...
Watching TV right now, and the ex-presidents.
The ex-presidents. Yeah.
Bush and Clinton, presidential relief tour.
Bush Sr.
Don't these guys hate each other?
They used to. They are the best of pals now. You only see them hanging out together now. They are what they call asshole buddies now. They go everywhere together.
How did this come about? Because they hated each other.
George W. threw them together as a relief. They do these relief tours for the tsunami. And they're, scraping up money. You've seen the TV commercials featuring the two of them. And now they're on tour. They're touring the tsunami-ravaged Southeast Asia.
Oh, my God. President Bush Sr. is dyeing his hair. You see that? You see that? That looks awful. And Clinton officially looks old.
Yeah.
Since the heart thing, he officially looks old now.
Yeah.
But Bush Sr. is dyeing his hair. What's going on in the back of his head? It's really dark, like almost black.
Yeah, no way, because he's a real old guy. No way that's his natural hair color. Now look, Bush Sr. is holding up a map, and Clinton's also holding it, and they're pointing to things. They are like the best of pals now. My buddy, wherever I go, he goes. Listening to the tsunami parody on the plane over. Tree right through her head. That's funny stuff. Look at the big hog in Clinton's pants, too.
Yeah, there's something going on in the front of his pants.
Wow.
All the young girls over there, or boys, whatever you could pick from over there.
So we're all looking at the TV during the commercial, and Jimmy's like, "Can you imagine getting a picture with Bush and Clinton?"
Yeah, that's
a
good one.
I look at Jimmy and go, "Well, I got my picture taken with Clinton," and all of a sudden Jimmy just goes, "Ugh!"
That's right.
Just all mad, and then Ben goes, "Well, I got a picture with Clinton too," and he's like, "Ugh!"
Actually, Ben's wasn't a picture. Him and Clinton were having a large hog contest, and they just stood side by side.
Ben's picture is the worst, though. It is so blurry.
It is not.
It is.
You haven't even seen it, number
No, but
one.
I'm hoping.
Bring in your.
He was probably moving when it was taken. Ben was just jerking.
Yeah, bring in your picture of you and Clinton.
Clinton's looking better than he has, though.
That's right when he got into office.
He's got some color and stuff.
Yeah, it didn't look bad.
All right, enough. We know you like your apple. Relax.
I got to thank the guy from Revelets in Tom's River. This is a porcelain apple. It could be the crispiest, yummiest. Oh, I bite into it. I have to put my hand down because the juices are leaking out.
Wow, yet it's crispy.
A lovely apple.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the wife swapper.
He loves when juices run out, doesn't he?
I sure do.
Yeah, Ben has the worst picture of him and Clinton, by the way.
Where did Ben get that one?
Ben was just a young go-getter.
A young buck?
I don't know, man. I mean, he looks like a junior senator or something, or whatever they're called when. What are they called when you're like in college and you're thinking about going into politics?
Sodomized.
His hair is all short. He's a lot thinner.
Clinton?
No, Ben.
It's in Boston. I got it in Boston.
Oh, is it Boston? But you know your picture's blurry.
No, it was when he was by the Park Plaza. I was in a small holding area where there was only like 30 people that he was definitely going to come by. But this is when he was president, so the security.
Oh.
But there's a thing about Clinton.
Your picture's better because he was president.
That's
when
right.
You got yours.
You know something? I might have to give Ben that. The quality of the picture, I haven't seen Ben's. If it's blurry, that's one thing. But getting a standing president's picture, a sitting president's picture, wow, that's pretty big.
Yeah, but it's so blurry.
It is not blurry. And I got it signed by him, too. It's autographed to me.
And Clinton he's not even looking at the camera because he doesn't even know anyone's taking his picture.
They're a lot more accessible after office, though.
It was like whoever was taking the picture for you was in panic mode, like, oh my God, I got to get this shot. His hands were shaking or something because it's not even cropped, it's not even centered. It's just like, the bottom right hand. Part of the picture is Ben and Clinton.
You really studied that.
Oh, yeah, I did.
He's seen it like once. And look at him comment.
Dude, bring it in. Bring it in.
I got to see it, yeah.
Yeah, you got to bring it in.
Two of you were making me sick fighting over your Clinton pictures. I wish I had one. I'd take either one of them.
Either. The coolest presidential thing I ever got.
Mine's great because my arm's around him. We're both smiling.
Yeah, but Ben will say his is better because Clinton had a tie on. You think yours is better because his shirt was open. The two of you make me nauseous.
He does. He actually, it was just when he got in office, too. He'd only been in office a couple months, really young, and just, big tie and everything, and there's Secret Service all around him. Not like yours is just out behind some bookstore in Long Island,
Mine's great. I love my picture.
I had sent a Christmas card to Richard Nixon
when
I was a kid. Yeah, and I actually got one back. From and it wasn't a form one either. It was actually signed.
You still have it?
No.
What'd you do with it?
I probably didn't even make it through the year. I don't even remember how old I was. I was a little kid, and then I didn't think it would be worth anything. What do I know? I know a Richard Nixon signed Christmas card. What an ass!
This apple wasn't so good. I'd throw it at you. How do you lose that?
I know.
Yeah, how did you lose it?
You're a kid. It's like, oh, look, Richard Nixon sent me a Christmas card. Boom, throw it away with the, grandma's.
Yeah.
It's pretty stupid.
All right.
And my shingles are clearing up. The shingles. Anthony. You're not a Jew boy, are you?